Good morning guys and welcome back to the channel. We are now beginning a series of videos focused on chip behavior in relation to specific parameters, and this is a matter that is considered to be quite important. I'll try to show you more than theorems here because this is something that you learn a lot with practice and with the types of materials and machines that you have available. So now we'll see how the chip behaves in relation to the depth of copper. Then we'll see it in relation to the read rate, and then we'll change the materials. All this is possible thanks to the collaboration with MB Furniture, which is providing me with quality tools, pilot tools. So I've switched to using the tools, let's say, from the first Chinese supply that come with the machine, because they are supplied together with round precision with vortex inserts, so high quality and smoke stooling. So completely a different thing. I would also like to thank Furniture Automatisch SRL of Castallo, which gave me a good quantity of AVP and aluminum to be able to do these desks on assembly. Other companies have helped me, but they have asked to remain in the nominated category. And I sincerely thank everyone, since this is a technical dissemination initiative that I do completely free of charge. Any help that comes, so inserts, tools, materials is appreciated. If you want to help me, contact me, but you can also help me supporting the channel, subscribing, or using the methods you find in the description. For example, doing your shopping on Amazon via the link. What you see behind me is, let's say, the preparation of the blank knee. I have cut about 80 millimeters of AVP, and I'm preparing to make a series of passes at about 130 meters with 1/10 of feet per revolution to see how the chip behaves at the wing of the cutting depth. So the first pass is simply to ensure the cylindricity of the operation, since the centering could be off by 1 DO or all that stuff. So a first pass, which is what you will see shortly, brings the piece, let's say, to cylindricity. Well, consider that we are working on AVP, so it is a material that already chips well, so we will not be able to see what could be seen on an FE where chip control is important, but we are already starting to understand some things. Consider that we are working on a machine with 0.75 kilowatts of power, so I cannot make 3 or 4 millimeter passes, although I remind you that the inserts can theoretically guarantee a cutting depth, obviously without pushing too much, equal to 2/3 of the cutting edge height. Remember this. And a maximum feed rate equal to half the tool radius. We have a radius of 0.4 here, so we are proceeding at 1/4 of the tool radius, which is a feed rate suitable, one might say, for finishing or semi-finishing operations. Now I have made a comparison with these 6 cutting depths. Now let's move on a little in the video. Here it is. I'll pause for a moment. As you can see, we have the same cutting speed for everyone. Well, I will probably change by half a meter because the diameter decreases a bit, but I mean, we are 430 meters, which is quite low for an AVP, but I have to adapt it to the machine. I have that's why I have a hard time teaching, because you could have a Puma 400 with 30 kilowatts on the spindle, and therefore a machine that is perhaps a bit slower but a bit larger, or a small, very far, but that has 10 kilowatts. So everyone in their company and in their reality must understand that there is a change depending on the cutting depth, the feed, but that they must adapt these changes based on the medium they are working on. This is not because one machine is better than another, but because each company has its own needs. So let's look at all 3 together, all 6 together. Do you see? You see that here the chip is thin, and here the chip is thick. Thick. It's obvious. Here I am going down to cutting depth, that depth. Here I'm going down 0.7 of cutting depth. So here, I'm going to remove it. Let's go back. 4 of the diameter, and here I'm going to remove 1.4 of the diameter. What happens? This chip flies away like a sharpener. This one instead makes a nice curl that breaks. Now let's look at them one by one. As you can see, the speed is the same. Here, the chip is very thin. Why does it break? It breaks it doesn't have this renda, let's say, to hold on, but in theory, this chip, if it were FE at aux 0.02 feed, wouldn't break. As we increase the cutting depth, the height of the chip also increases. In this case, we can understand that a cutting depth that is too low on this cutting edge can create a chip that is too long and difficult to control. As the cutting speed increases, and for my machine, in these conditions, as you can see, it is the perfect chipability. Okay? But it's a machine issue, of course. If I had another machine, I would never go to 0.4, I would go to 1.5. Here the chip breaks well, the surface is perfect, but 0.5, we're still doing well. Then what happens? Then something happens manually, and let's see if I can get the audio. Do you hear it? Now listen to it from EO7. Also take a look at the tailstock. Perfect. So what happens here? Well, the machine intervenes. The machine is a small, lightweight machine designed to work on a desk. We're on steel and we're pulling a 1 out, or per revolution. You can barely hear it here. Here it goes into redundancy, that is, the tool has no problems. The material chips well, the structure of the machine starts to struggle a little. It doesn't mean that the machine isn't working well, it means that the machine is working well here. Okay? It's working well in this area, it's working well at 0.4. And the chip is also perfectly controlled. Well, for C of 0.4, it would probably also be controlled with an F, after which the geometry of the insert, the type of chip breaker, comes into play. And here, I'll show them to you now. Now, if I make myself a little bigger. Give me a second of patience while I'm judging. I don't know, sorry. Let's do it this way. Okay. From my apologies. I have 2 inserts here. One that I used, which is exactly the one I used in the test, and one that I would say is its older brother. I want to try to scan them and then show you the chip breaker in the future, because then there is also the chip breaker that has special characteristics. The chip breaker tells you, look, I start working beyond a certain cutting depth and beyond a certain feed rate, and these things must be taken into consideration when a machining operation is ready. If my chip breaker does not exceed a certain feed rate, it crushes the chip and does not break it. Beyond a certain feed rate, the chip breaker works, so the chip is moved by the chip breaker. Feed rate and cutting depth. Beyond that, however, we risk of breaking the chip, and therefore the insert. You can also do this in your company if, by the way, you have a machine that is obviously more structured than mine and an F heater for the enemy of the chip par excellence, you can see it very, very, very well. So never underestimate the control of the chip in turning operations because it is an enemy of the machine. Because in any case it ruins some parts, in any case it gets under the sliding guides. It can cut you, in other words, the chip must always be as fine as possible or sailors. There are metals where it is almost impossible unless you go and search among thousands of inserts. So if you work thousands of pieces in that material, you will find the insert. If I have to work a piece in a material that does not chip, guys, you make the chip, and that's it. Here, sometimes you have to make a virtue of necessity, but remember that AP and feed affect chip control. In the next video, we will look at the same material, or rather the same piece, where I will make 20mm passes, as I have already done, but the feed will also change and therefore the machining speed will also change. In my opinion, it is very interesting to make these assessments. I repeat, it is difficult to teach through a video, but it is important to make you understand that there is more to than just the toolpath. But everyone asks me, can you teach me how to program the toolpath? No, being a tutor is not that. It is something more. It is something that also makes you delve into the choice of the insert from the point of the powder that is the compound with which it is made, the height of the insert that is in a process like the one I did on a machine like the one I did, a CCMT of or 16, it would make absolutely no or sense. I'm gonna take out 07 on the type of chip breaker. I'm making generic videos, so I chose a generic chip breaker, but there are 1000 possibilities to change the chip breaker and then the parameters. And I come up with boo. Well, I hope I was helpful, that I put a flea in your ear, and that I also open your mind to the choice of parameters, which is not as trivial as it may seem. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.